What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Happy Monday. What a weekend it was, and man, it just didn't stop. Not only did we have the full DC Fandome weekend, and that's what we were planning on talking about today, and we will. We're going to break down everything that came out. The Batman stole the show. It was one of the most talked about trailer, deservedly so. The movie looks fantastic. We're going to get into that. The Flash showed, they said just a little sneak peek, but it was like it was a teaser trailer, I thought. Shazam didn't really show much. Black Adam showed something pretty cool. Nothing on some of the other properties that they had teased or shown, or Aquaman didn't even really have a trailer. I thought we were going to trailer on that, but a lot to talk about. It's DC Fandome. It's the second one that they did, so we're going to definitely break that. And then this morning, news hits that Disney does this massive film shuffle, like out of nowhere. And when I saw the initial thing, it was more or less about that Doctor Strange was moving, getting the hell out of the way of the Batman after all the hype, and that made sense to me, but then all the other shifts, so we'll get into that. It's myself, it's Steph, Sabraw. We're going to be going over everything I mentioned and a bit more today on the show, so thanks for joining us here this morning on The Big Thing. Beef and beef and beef. Shoes and shoes and beef. Beef, 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 beef. What's going on, everybody? It's Monday. It's funny because we did a pre-tape last week. And you're going to get double Steph Sabraw this week. You might even get triple Steph Sabraw with Sith Council.
Oh, yeah.
But we did... What's up, Steph?
What's up?
We did a thing with you and I and Kate that we didn't know when we were going to drop it because, well, let's see what happens with DC Fandome. And
we've entered the multiverse like the Flash.
Oh, shit.
We're going back and forth.
We're going to go back. But and so I started... Even though you kind of get into your thoughts on Halloween on the Wednesday episode, I started watching it with my wife. So what I'll say about Halloween before we get into anything else is that
Can't wait.
I'm only about 15 minutes in.
Okay, but you could already know a lot.
So here's my thing with the movie itself. My biggest, what I liked about the Halloween, the 2018 version, was that they kind of jumped back into some of the fun of what the first one was all about, right? Because this is in chronological order. This is supposed to be the third film in the franchise. You're supposed to disregard all the other stuff that happened. My wife, as much as watching one of the Jamie Lee Curtis ones, she's like, "Wait, but it is her brother." Like, no, it's not the brother. Just forget those. They're not canon. What's a canon? Don't worry about it. But anyway, we were watching this one, the third one, and as the 2018 plays into that. The one shot and like kind of more of the 1978 feel whenever the movie came out. This one so far starts to go into the problems that I have of the silly sequels, and that's just over gore. And because the first movie I watched the movies we love on Netflix, and I watched the Halloween one, and they were very adamant about the fact they wanted to do it Hitchcock style, where they don't show any blood in that movie. I mean, minus, like, I don't know, maybe it's on a knife or something too, but there's not like gruesome kills. It's like it's that Hitchcockian thing of like, it's the way that it's shot that scares the hell out of you, and the way that like they maneuver the camera and the way they situate stuff. And I thought then what happened towards all the other sequels was that they started to just go over gore, and it just became about the kills and more of like a big slasher film. I'm 15 minutes into it, and it feels like that so far. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, I think that's an accurate depiction. It feels like they didn't have a story or a script that they really were in love with, so they were like, let's go with the gore.
Let's just have them kill everybody. Like, ultimately, like if instead of ramming somebody's head into it once or twice, let's do it 30 times. And then we show someone get shot in the neck, like show like a river of blood come out, and it's like...
It changes the way you view Mike Myers as a villain, though. It's like a different game for him.
It's a different... It's I don't want to judge it all the way because, like I said, I saw 15 minutes of it because the funny part about maybe even 20 minutes to be honest, but my wife, who is not necessarily a horror fan, loves the Halloween movie because it's nostalgic for her. Remembers watching it with her sister, and so we watched the 2018 version and she liked it. But she watched the first 15-20 minutes, and she was like uneasy. She couldn't sleep, and she's like, I don't know, that kind of stuff. Really, it was really gory. And she's like, let's try it again. I'm like, I don't want to go through this again with you at night where you can barely sleep. I'm like, I'll finish it myself because we have a lot.
Yeah, if she doesn't like gore, I don't either. I couldn't look most of the time. Yeah. And then when I was looking, it was the dialogue, which made me want to stab myself.
There was some goofy dialogue up top.
Were you there for the bar open? Like,
yeah. When he's doing the speech,
the story.
And everybody's
I know
just.
this isn't a spoiler. He's like, I know you thought I was gonna bird whistle, but instead,
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you a story that's gonna scare the piss out of all of you while you're drinking. About let's rehash murders.
Then we're gonna.
I don't know.
The decision making. It's the decision making.
Very hard for me to say anything yet. And I don't want people to say, like, how can you judge it? You haven't even watched the whole movie. And you'd be right. So I'm not judging. I'm just telling you what I saw of the first, 15, 20 minutes. I'm going to finish it.
Someone who saw the whole thing, I agree. You should finish it.
Yeah.
The first 15 minutes are very indicative of the entire film.
All right. Well, what are you going to do? It's
Jamie Lee Curtis rocks, so.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing is that I've never been a horror movie person because of that problem of slasher films where it's just like, all right, moron's going to walk over here. Moron's not going to see the killer. Moron gets killed by the killer. Second moron gets killed by the killer, same particular way. And it's like the paint by numbers stuff is what I didn't like. I loved the fact that they went back to the feel. There's some gory kills in the last one. There's no doubt about it. But it just felt a little bit more that they were trying to connect it to that 1978 movie. I keep saying 78. I hope I'm not wrong. But and people will say, because even in the beginning, well, they're trying to do the same thing here. Yeah, but it's sloppy the way that they're doing it.
Yeah, I completely.
I don't know.
When you start to root for the villain because the characters are so dumb, that's a problem.
It's a big problem.
I can just imagine you, Kristian. You're gonna be like, you fucking.
I'm already expecting it. I'm already expecting. It seems to me like it's gonna be one of these slasher horror films that I don't like, but I want to finish it. And I am going to finish the trilogy because I know there's 3 movies. I'm not going to watch past 3 though. If they decide to make 4, I'm not watching. I'll watch the 3 because that's what was talked about, and that's what I'm curious to see how it all pans out. But anyway, and then there was just so much going on this weekend in general because then the DC Fandome hit, and we'll hit that. And we're going to go over all this stuff. So don't worry about it. I mean, it's going to be a full packed day today. There's really not going to be time to bullshit as much. You want to hear about Steph's dating life, you're going to have to hear about it on Wednesday because we definitely talk about it. Nothing new has developed since then, right?
No, not yet.
No, all right. So
you updated.
Yeah, you can announce it at the MTS Dome when we do that.
Yeah, it's spectacular.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody?
Here's my dating life.
I'm still single.
That's what they're going to go. People are going to lose their minds. Meet me after the show, Steph. Speaking of which, December 4th, Schmodown Spectacular, almost sold out.
Hell yeah. It's going to be
It's going to be the loudest thing we've ever done.
So fun.
It's going to be crazy. It's at downtown LA, the schmodownlive.com. Even if you've never watched it, we've got a lot of new subscribers over the weekend, and I thank you guys. If you're wondering what the hell I'm talking about, we do. If you combine the UFC with the WWE meets Jeopardy for movies, that's the movie trivia Schmodown. We're doing a big event December 4th. A lot of shit going down, so check it out, the schmodownlive.com. All right, DC Fandome. I told you I was going to try. I had to do some sneaking around because the weekends are usually the family day. So it's like, what am I going to do? How am I going to do these reactions? These are all things I want to see. They had announced that you could potentially see, what is it? It's a Blue Beetle, right? That's the one with Joel Manarduena.
Blue Beetle.
Yeah, that's one. So people were asking, how come no one's covering this? Didn't show anything.
No.
The stuff that no one showed, you're not going to let a coverage on unless it's printed, right? Because I love that kid. I've interviewed him many times over for Cobra Kai. Love him. Can't wait I knew how excited he was to do a superhero film. He's very excited to do it in general. You saw it. He's just got such an electric thing about him. Love this kid. And he plays Miguel in Cobra Kai for those people who are paying attention or not paying attention. And so can you confirm, is it Blue Beetle? Because I don't know the property as well. I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah. But there wasn't anything.
There just wasn't as much. I think I understand why they did a panel. It's because of how many. There were like 65,000 people watching that thing live, and more people watching afterwards. And so why you want to get awareness of it? You want to bring it, but
it's Blue Beetle.
Blue Beetle.
All they revealed was the costume. Remember?
That was it.
Yeah, that was it. The art concept.
Which and so that part of it. I understand why they made the announcement. Get this kid in front of the camera as much as you can. He's great on camera. He's a super likable kid. He's very, very wise for his age. I think he's like 20 or 21. I interviewed him when he was like 17 or 18 the first time. And I was like, this kid is just it seemed like I was talking to a 40-year-old. He's very smart. He's got a good head on his shoulders. So I root for this kid no matter what he does. But that's why people weren't like covering it the same way they were covering everything else, is because it just wasn't anything to show. But I'm excited to see more from him. But before we dive into the other stuff, is that like, so let's DC Fandome in general. I saw in the comments what is just normal. It's like, let's get to it. Let's get to the Batman. Come on. It's a Comic-Con. It's a Comic-Con.
For 3 hours.
Yes. So if you're walking around a Comic-Con, there are certain panels that you walk into that is not for everyone, right? There's stuff like for like the hardcore people who want to be like, want to write for comics and want to do this stuff and want to listen and know all these names in comic books. It's tailor-made for them because they go, oh, that's so-and-so who did that run and did this. That's what Comic-Con is. So the digital side of it, that's what they're doing. But the problem is you get all these people online like, where's the trailer? And it's like, relax. You
asking, I love the enthusiasm, but asking for it on a live panel that's probably pre-recorded a lot of these segments, right? You're not gonna get it. You're just gonna be upset.
No, and they're yelling at some of the hosts and stuff too. Like Tiffany Smith, Schmoes original, one of the original hosts, took over for Katie Sackhoff. She is crushing in general as an actress, but she was so good. She's an amazing host. They
had great hosts.
I think she should have hosted the whole event, to be honest. And it's not just because of bias. I think that there were a lot of good hosts, but I think that one consistent host taking you through the entire time and not just popping back and forth.
Especially when it's digital like that.
Yeah.
You're not walking through things.
And as much as I like, what's the German guy's name who played Javelin in...
the DJ.
Yeah, he I like him a lot, but some of his jokes were not hitting for me. Like, I felt like almost was talking down to the audience a little bit. I know he wasn't, but it just felt like that way. I felt like he was talking to my daughter watching Blue's Clues.
Yeah. No, I know he's hit or miss for me. I loved him in the movie, but
me too. I think he was good in Pitch Perfect too, I think it was, but either way, he's very funny, but I just thought a lot of his segments weren't hitting the way that they wanted to, and I think he's
Flula Borg.
Yeah, and he's funny. He's very funny. I like him a lot. But I think that, having Tiffany bring us through. However, what I will say about him is that I have also been at Comic-Con many years, and you walk into some panels that are hosted by people who host a panel like this. What was your favorite part about working on this show? Oh, are you liking it? Do you think you'll come back for the sequel? And it's like, how do these people get jobs?
He was dry eyes guy.
None of that was there. None of that was there. These are all people that were cable, but...
And they probably wanted some international fan base with him, too. That's what I was assuming.
Yeah, for sure. So he was anything but boring. He was not boring. I just didn't think some of his stuff landed. But that wasn't what people were there. I wasn't there for the television stuff. I wasn't there for the comic book stuff. There were people who were, but it didn't mean I was commenting in going, this is not what I like, so hurry up and get to the Batman. How do you not know that they're going to close with the Batman?
Yeah.
How do you not know that?
Well, also, if you only want the Batman trailer, just wait for the Batman trailer drops.
Right. And people just want to bitch and complain. I thought it was a good event. I thought they did exactly what they wanted to for their fans. I thought they paced that out right, and I thought they started right with Black Adam. And
I thought that was a smart, because Dwayne Johnson is one of the biggest stars of all time.
He'll wake you up and kick your ass and get you ready.
And I think people are so excited about Black Adam, and they're like, what are they going to do with this character? Is he going to be a villain, a hero, anti-hero? What's going to happen?
I was answered pretty quick.
Yeah, really quick. I was like, damn.
So much about that. The first part of it being, like you said, people have been waiting for it for a while, because this was announced, and they'll tell me in the comments if I'm right or wrong on it, but this was announced something like 2014 or 2015 that he was working on this.
Yeah.
He's been working on this for a very long time, maybe even before that, but he's been circling this project for a long time. So to finally get it, and it reminded me very much, Kate recently watched the first Terminator. Have you ever seen the first Terminator?
Yeah. Okay. I did this year.
You did this year.
Yeah.
It's the
awesome.
best. It's the best
awesome.
Out of all of them, it's my favorite, because it's raw. It's essentially a horror film.
Yeah.
Is what it is. It's a sci-fi horror film. And it was ballsy because it allowed Arnold Schwarzenegger to do something. He was coming off of the Conan the Barbarian movies, and he went villain, and he was a terrifying villain. And it was this scene that they showed for Black Adam was reminiscent to that. So you just watched the Terminator recently. You know the beginning when he shows up and he says, "I need your hat, your glasses," and Bill Paxton says to him, "It was laundry day, huh? Nothing clean, right?" And then he kills all of them, like. And that is what this reminded me of when he shows up and he's just in the hoodie. He comes in and he just Mortal Kombat kills these people.
Yeah, like robotic. Like if you go against me, you're just gonna get killed.
Yeah, and I like that. I've been waiting for The Rock to do something. I think The Rock bad guy in like Doom or something else, and nothing notable, right?
No, he's been doing a lot of comedies lately, which or in
like
in
Jungle
his career.
Cruise.
Yeah, a lot of kids movies. I feel like
But
I'm
he did
more familiar.
Skyscraper, and he did the other one that was really good.
Did you like Skyscraper?
It was fine. The one before that though, the San Andreas.
Oh yeah,
That was fun.
Yeah, that was. I think there's moments with him where I'm like, you are a very talented actor, but sometimes I like still see The Rock, and it happens with John Cena.
Sure.
But then when John Cena was Peacemaker,
We'll talk about that.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that.
But I'm hoping that's the same for this.
For The
is
Rock.
the same for The Rock. Like this is a really cool dimensional role for him to like step into something that he
and
hasn't
change it
really-
up a little bit.
Yeah.
So, well, have you ever seen both Snitch and Faster?
No.
Watch those two.
Okay.
Because that's I think when you see that, you're going to go, oh, well, he can do that. Then I really looking forward. I want to see him start doing dramas after all this shit. I understand why he's doing this. This is the moneymaker. This is how you're going to make cash. But I think he's going to start doing dramas and other things. And he's done that. But I'm talking about like, Manchester by the Sea type stuff, right? That's the kind of stuff I want to see The Rock doing eventually. But right now, bread and butter is blockbuster.
Honest, this is an obscure question, but with his body type, you think that reads on screen in like a Manchester by the Sea?
Depends on the role.
Yeah.
Depends
That's
on
like what the hard part is with him and John Cena. Like they're so massive spectacles.
But John Cena is overly huge. The Rock lost. I mean, he's still a big dude. I mean, he's like 6'4", and he's a big dude. But from what he was bulky in the WWE, he lost weight. He goes. I mean, he doesn't. He still looks big. There's no doubt about it. But he doesn't look like when you put like Triple H, when Triple H was huge on screen, he looked like 4 times as big on film. And he like one of the Blade movies. I think it was Blade 3.
Yeah,
it looked ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I think that it depends. It depends on the role, and it depends on how they fit him in there as far as what it is. But it doesn't matter because none of that shit's happening anytime soon anyway. He's too wrapped up in all these big blockbuster action movies, and he's making hand over fist. So, but Black Adam. Yeah, I got to tell you, I think, and I liked Shazam a lot. I liked the first movie, and they didn't really show anything for the second movie. But I think that I'm more excited about Black Adam than I am the sequel, and I'm curious about the sequel for Shazam. But if I had to choose between the two, after seeing that scene, Black Adam to me is pretty intriguing.
Yeah, because I think what DC has over MCU is that they're grittier. Like they're grittier by nature in a lot of the stories that in their comics.
And they're doing their own thing.
Yeah, exactly.
They stopped trying to catch up, and they're doing their own thing.
And that's what I like the most about this fandom and what we got here. So, and I really like when he said, "I feel like I was born to play this," because I haven't heard him say that on record about any other character, and that's exciting when someone feels that way.
Right? Yeah, he's been pretty interested to do this one. It's been a passion project, I think, for a long time. Question is, was he as a kid? Was that his thing? I'm sure he'll talk about it a lot as the press kind of builds up for this. But this was something I think everyone started talking about. People are getting excited about it, and it made sense. The other thing that really stood out was the Flash, and that was the one I was really wondering how they were going to. What's the dog collar thing all about with Ezra Miller?
I have no idea.
Is that a shtick? Am I too old to understand why? Is that a thing?
Oh, like why he did that for
Why does anyone
fandom?
do that?
Oh, that was fashion.
Okay. Do you like that?
It's Ezra Miller. Like I think he's always going to show up.
I'm asking as an old person because to me it looks like someone has a dog collar.
Am I sexually attracted to that? No.
Right.
Do I think that's like a fun fashion choice? Sure.
Okay. Yeah, see, it's no, I can't do it, and it's also I understand. Like I saw a guy the other day wearing these like skinny jean things that everybody seems to be doing. Every person on The Bachelor that I was, and I'm like, I feel like my thighs couldn't breathe in that.
No,
and my junk would be like, "What are you doing, guy?"
I can't breathe.
Yeah, it's like, please.
No, yeah, men are actually supposed to be the ones wearing skirts.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening anymore.
I know.
Yeah, I know. I mean, look at the Scottish. They knew how to do it.
Before he came out of the, we really rarely ever see him nowadays because of everything. But when he was very flamboyant in his fashion. So I wasn't surprised when he did this.
I'm not saying whether it's
curious.
I just didn't, I looked at it and I just said I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like if my daughter or son walked downstairs and had a dog collar on, I said, "Why do you have a dog collar on? Like, what?
Can you breathe?
What are you doing? Do you need a treat?" I don't understand. You just go to the bathroom, backyard. I don't get it. But anyway, so he talks about the movie itself, and here it is. And they show that, and they say, "Well, we don't really have a teaser. We just have like a first look." It's a freaking teaser. It's a good teaser too.
Yeah, tells the story.
Yeah, I did not pick up until I watched it back until people told me that it was Michael Keaton doing the narration. And then once it is, you're like, of course it is.
Yeah.
And you hear hints of the Danny Elfman score of the Batman score, which is great. Saul reached out to me though and said something very interesting. And I don't know, I haven't really heard this from a lot of other people, and I'm curious. You know when they see the Batcave in the trailer?
Yes.
Saul told me that's not the Keaton Batcave. It is the Keaton Batmobile. It's the Bale Batcave.
Oh, what?
So the question is it a ruse, and is that actually Bale that they're talking to? Is that Bale, that back of the head that we see there, and they're throwing you off because?
But we've seen Keaton on set, right?
Right. We know Keaton's in it. That's what I mean. That's my point. My point is that you know Keaton's in it, and you know that behind when they're talking to him, that they're having these conversations, and it's Keaton throughout the entire voiceover. So are they throwing you for a loop? Because Ben Affleck's in this as well. There's been rumors of Bale. There's been rumors.
It's like interesting because when you name all the Batmans, none of them are on social media, so that they're the easiest people to keep secrets.
Well, Affleck is.
He is?
Yeah.
I thought he was off Twitter.
Did he go back off again? I don't know.
He's on it
because he can't. Who knows? I don't pay attention to that shit. But
Christian Bale certainly isn't. No. That would be that's my favorite Batman. So that would be unbelievable.
Yeah. Clooney's not going to be anywhere near it.
No.
Val Kilmer, unfortunately, won't be able to. So yeah, I think that they potentially could do that, but they don't need to. But it was something that Saul.
Good call, Saul.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. And I was watching, I did reactions to all these things. And as I'm looking at it, I'm like, come on, show me his face. And they show it. I'm like, you bastards. I'm like, and then he goes, oh, and he goes to pull out the Batmobile, and you could see the shape. You know it's the Keaton Batmobile. And then he goes, holy, and you go, oh, it was a great tease. It was a great tease. You don't have to show it, but I just like, you bastards. I wanted it. They did exactly what they were supposed to do.
Yeah, it was a really good trailer. I personally loved the Flash in Justice League, and I know a lot of people had a problem with the character. Yeah. I get it. It was just that humor was so for me.
Yeah.
And I just fell in love with that character, and I really liked Ezra Miller in that role. And so I was like, what are they going to do with this, especially everything that's gone on? And I think they did a really good job of like giving you just enough to be like, all right, I'm into this.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to show the Barry Allen from the TV? Because they love the people. I think so. You think so too? They love that.
Love him.
Yeah, people love that kid.
Gus.
So. I don't think, is that his name? Gus? What the hell do I know? Sorry, he can be Gus today. It's fine. He's people love that kid, and he's going to be. He probably will show up, especially if they. What I thought was interesting that they showed was when they are approaching
Grant Gustin.
Grant Gustin, you're close. Yeah, there's a Gus in there.
Same thing.
But the thing that I thought was interesting was they show another Ezra Miller on the left. I wonder if they're. Probably not, but you remember when Civil War came out and the trailer came out and they showed the scene when both sides are going after each other, but they CGI'd Spider-Man out of it because they didn't want to reveal Spider-Man was in it. I wonder if that is Grant Gustafson. Gustafson, is that his name?
Grant Gustin.
Gustin.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody. I'm not as tied
you?
into it. But Grant Gustin, I wonder if that's him on the left. And they CGI'd Ezra Miller in there instead.
That would be cool. I'm all about that type of creative duping.
Yeah, I like that too. I like when they trick you, but maybe not. Maybe it's just another Ezra Miller.
It is cool that DC is going into a multiverse.
Yes, and my brother had said to me the other day, and the comic, and Coy would be able to correct me immediately if I'm wrong on this, but my brother had said, well, is it DC copying Marvel? I said, no, I think it's the other way around, because I believe that DC did the multiverse and everything first. And they had definitely, in movies, set it up first with Flash.
Yes.
They had set it up with Flash in I think it was Justice League or Batman v Superman. I can't remember which one it was, but they definitely set that up first. And it just happens to be that they're coming out around the same time. And I think it'll actually benefit both of them. But DC was there first with this. And now Marvel's going all in with the Loki series and What If, and where am I with What If? I just finished the Killmonger episode of What If, and now I'm like a quarter into. No, I finished the Thor episode, which was goofy as hell, but I wound up liking it.
Yeah, me too.
And then what was the last one? I don't remember whatever. There's like two left. Oh no, yeah, I'm like halfway through the Ultron one. That's the one. And then there's like one episode left after that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you're
I'm almost there. Like the Watcher just found out that Ultron can see him.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Those are you're at the 2 best episodes.
Yeah. So spoiler for anybody who's not watching it. Tough shit.
It's a few weeks. I think you're okay. Yeah.
But all of that and it all plays into this because that talks about all the different galaxies and universes and that what Ultron saw, but then it's the same thing what Flash is able to do. He's able to run through these things, and Keaton even asked him, he's like, you can go through all these places, you can do all these things, and it sets it up. I thought it was a great teaser, really great teaser. I was excited for it already. Now I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, I think that they did what they accomplished a lot because there was a lot of people who aren't on board with Ezra Miller's The Flash. And how do you get those people on board? Well, they're probably fans of one or two of the Batmans that they've had before. And then you get the multiverse, which is going to expand the entire DCEU. Then you have an entire group of people that might have not been interested in this film. I
think so. Yeah, I think that you bring back, especially if it's going to serve as like the third Batman film with Keaton. Mm-hmm. I think that's a great way to do it. So, anyway, so that was those two things. Then they didn't show anything for Shazam. I'm going to take this microphone and I'm going to throw it in.
Chuck it out the window.
It's a piece of shit. Not to the company itself. It's this particular wire. What else did they show that they didn't show? Shazam, there was nothing. They just showed that behind, and Aquaman, there was nothing. It was just those behind-the-scene featurettes, enough to where they're working on it and everything kind of going on.
Yeah, you see imagery of Helen Mirren
and the story
and Lucy Liu. Yeah. That's the most intriguing part to me. Shazam's one of those that like has to land on screen because the story is weird to me. Like watching adults play kids is bizarre, and I like bizarre, but you just want to wait for it on screen.
Yeah, I think so, and I think, but the way that they set it up, the way that it's playing out, I'm definitely intrigued for it. I like the first one very much.
First one was a surprise winner.
And then Aquaman, I'm curious because of James Wan. I love him, was one of my favorite filmmakers, just to see what they're doing, how they're going to play it out.
Seems like it's way more action-based than ever. I know the first one was, but I feel like this one's even more so, or at least those are the clips they showed us.
Yeah, and I dig Jason Momoa a lot. I think he's just a cool cat. So, and
I think he another like big actor who's but I feel like he's getting better and better.
Yes. So those were the stuff that it didn't really show. And then my daughters were in here. It was funny because I have a 4-year-old and an almost 10-year-old, and I was with them all in the morning trying to like. At one point, I was like, okay, just come with me to the office. I gave them a bunch of stuff from the Fandome box that they gave me, and inside of that box was a bunch of Wonder Woman stuff. And my daughter, the 10-year-old, her eyes just opened up, and she's like, oh my gosh, and she's looking because she loves like Greek mythology and all that stuff already.
That's what it's for.
Yeah, and she's looking at it, and she's just like, I didn't know that Wonder Woman was Greek mythology. She's a demigod, what? And I'm like, yeah. And then just so happens that right at that time when I give her the stuff, they do this whole panel on Wonder Woman. So she's just watching it, wide-eyed. And the little one has the headphones on listening to it too. It's adorable. But like they're watching it, and then they showed all the history because she's 80 now, Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah, the OG.
And they showed, and Janine the Machine, her artwork got featured in.
I didn't even see that. Yeah. Janine's so talented.
She's very talented. So, and all of that stuff. And my daughter was just right away wanted to watch Wonder Woman. We started watching the Gal Gadot.
The best one.
The first one, for sure. Yeah. And we started watching that, and she's already 15 minutes. She's like, Dad, this is my favorite movie of all time.
It's such a good movie. Like that's the Wonder Woman you watch.
She was very excited to watch it. So we were watching that, but
did you find it weird that it was just Linda Carter and no Gal Gadot there?
Nah, not really. If, for that particular...
She might be filming something.
Or, Linda Carter is pretty iconic as the character.
Totally.
And so, no, not really. Because it wasn't about that version of Wonder Woman. It was about Wonder Woman in general. And she was
other than the fact that we got an announcement that there's a third coming out with.
Right.
Peggy is still...
Patty Jenkins.
Patty Jenkins.
Yeah. See, and we kind of...
That made sense.
We kind of assumed that was happening. So.
After, I feel like... what happened in Star Wars, I feel like if you have a plan with a trilogy, keep the plan.
I'm so curious about that Patty Jenkins Star Wars movie because there was no announcement on that today. We'll talk about that in a second. Well, after the break, but those are the what and then what else hit? What were the big trailers? So obviously we know the big one, but there was. Am I missing anything? Peacemaker.
Oh yeah,
Peacemaker, which we talked about, the trailer for Peacemaker, which you told me you saw the Suicide Squad, and you were like, "When are you going to see it? When are you going to watch it? Go check it." And I loved it. It's probably my favorite movie of the year so far.
Top 2 for me. Yeah.
Laughed my fucking ass off watching it, and it was just such a great. I really loved that movie. And I was hoping that I was going to get a sequel or something else. And people were like, well, they're doing a series. They're doing a series of Peacemaker, and the scene came out a little while ago. Loved the scene, and then this trailer dropped. I thought this was the best one that they did, where the panel leading up to it really set up this and the Batman set up what you're about to see inside of the scene and inside of the trailer, right?
Yeah, I think they had to be so smart.
Yeah,
and I give kudos to Gunn on this, like, to plan the Suicide Squad and execute it the way it did for these like crazy characters.
Yep.
They set us up so well. Well, now we know Peacemaker. What an obscure, weird character to know. One that you hate but also love at the same time. And then I think that they did that even better before his trailer.
Yeah.
Like, I'm ready for it.
So ready for it. Humor's still there. It seems like you're going to have that same kind of tone that you had for the Suicide Squad. The fact James Gunn's directing some of these, but you saw the idea that how are they going to? Can they redeem this guy? Will they redeem the line that they even say with the new? There was a new woman who joined in. She says to her, so, if you just drop the act a little bit, people would like you. And I think that's what she's trying to say about the audience in general. It's like, because we're torn. We like John Cena in this because it's definitely his best role, and his humor is on point. He really gets this character and gets James Gunn's sense of humor and has the same type, and you can tell. But by the end of the Suicide Squad, you're not rooting for him.
No.
Yeah.
I wanted this guy dead.
And now they're giving him a series. Now what they need to do is get us back on board with him, and that's basically what she's saying. I thought that was brilliant.
I really like her. She's from Orange is the New Black. I've been waiting for her to have another role, but I agree completely, because the whole time I'm like, yes, I love this humor. He had some of the best punchlines by far of the movie, but god damn it, I hate him.
Yeah, of course, because he did some shit. And the question is, and someone was writing back in comments, but he was doing it due to the mission. He was staying on the mission. That was his, and they're not wrong. That why he was doing it was in which the manner that he did it and how he did it. So very much looking forward to that series. And before I get into, because we're going to get into the Batman, obviously, and is that the last one? That's the big one, because Black Adam.
Yeah, I just TV show wise, I've loved the Harley Quinn animated series. Okay. So, and I'm excited for the Batman Noir animated series, but mostly for Harley Quinn. I think that was one of the best. I'm a Rick and Morty fan, and I feel like that was like Rick and Morty in a superhero version, which I love. People
talk about that show quite often.
I think you would really like it.
Talk about that one.
So, I'm excited for the story that they're telling.
Yeah, but Black Adam, The Flash, Peacemaker. That's really it.
Yeah.
And then obviously the Batman, which we'll talk about. But before we do that, I have been raving to you guys about ButcherBox. If you're brand new, by the way, thank you to all the brand new subscribers that have come in over the weekend. Had a really good weekend and introducing a lot of you to the channel. And yeah, if you didn't know, by the way, you can download this show. It's The Big Thing, and our Sith Council show is available on podcast form. The link is in the description. But I have been raving about ButcherBox. I love it. It is one of the greatest things. If people ask me about podcasting in general, like what's one of the greatest things that ever came out of your career podcasting? Learning about ButcherBox. I shit you not. It is incredible. Steph has heard me rave about it, and you have not tried this yet.
No, I have to.
You're going to, and I'm going to make you. I haven't
heard you go off like.
Do you cook?
Yeah.
All right. Before you leave, I'm going to give you some of the beef that they sent.
Okay.
Because you're going to lose your mind. It is so good. It's so high quality. It's better taste, more ethical, sustainable, all that stuff. And to let you guys know, because when it comes to meat, you have to have good quality meat. And when you invest in high-quality meat from ButcherBox, the benefits go way beyond a great-tasting meal. What ButcherBox does is they source their meat from partners with the highest standards for quality. There's no more searching at the grocery store for 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken. There's wild-caught seafood and more. Their sourcing decisions are made, and they keep the farmer, the planet, the animal, and your family in mind, always delivering products that you can trust. I have been grilling. We have been using this in meatballs. We did chicken tenders for it. Like, there's so many meals that we've been preparing this, and you can do it so many different ways. You put them in stews, tacos. Like, we've been doing so much. It's like everything we do now is Butcher Box in my house. And we made my wife for my birthday. When I was watching Many Saints of Newark, she did all the meatballs. We had so many because of the amount of beef that they sent in the box, and it was like we were eating meatballs and meatball sandwiches and everything too. It was delicious, so good. And my daughter, we made burgers for her birthday, and she's just like, cheeseburgers. And my father-in-law, what kind of meat is this? People loved it, loved the taste of it, loved everything about it. I love it because it's for the amount of money that you save going to the grocery store. Holy mackerel,
and
man!
Time.
You have no idea, Steph. It'll change your life when you get one of these boxes.
Picking out meats and proteins to make.
I'm telling you, this is going to change your life.
Sounds
it's going
really
to change it, and salmon and all that. It's. I know you're.
I want the
same,
fish.
Same with me. Every month, this is what they're going to do for you guys. Butcher Box is going to ship a curated selection of high quality meat right to your house. No antibiotics or added hormones. Each box contains between 8 to 14 pounds of meat, depending on your box type. That's enough for 24 individual meals. It's packed fresh and it's shipped frozen for your convenience, so you can save time on your next grocery store trip. Customize your own box or go with one of theirs. Either way, you get exactly what you want. And it's free shipping for the continental United States. Right now, Butcher Box is offering new members a 10 to 16 pound turkey free in their first box. You just go to butcherbox.com/SENLive to sign up. Steph will try not to knock it right off of the table. That's butcherbox.com/SENLive to receive a free turkey in your first box. Get Butcher Box. And I'm talking to you, Steph.
I know. So I'm gonna get on it.
Before you go today, I'm gonna give you one of those packages, and you're gonna thank me.
Life change.
It really is. Talking about life changing. This Batman trailer. Holy shit balls. Wow.
Worth the wait.
So I go back, and this is I guess an I told you so moment for myself and Roxy when we were on Collider Live. They were asked, this was way before he was announced. They asked Roxy and I who we'd want to see as cast as the next Batman, and we said Robert Pattinson.
No way.
Oh, 100%. You can find that on the old episodes. And
hell yeah.
Because the problem that kid gets is the Twilight stigma.
Yeah.
He is a fantastic actor.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Watch Rover. Because I remember when Winston came into Collider Live, he was so against him. He might still be. I don't know. I haven't talked to him about it, but he was so against him. He's like, Twilight kid. I'm like, he can act.
Good Time, The Lighthouse.
Yes. He's a very, very good actor.
He's unreal.
Yeah. And
I love Twilight.
And when you hear what he is saying, and in the preparation he's already doing, watching and reading runs of this character and wanting to attack this character in a way that has never been explored before. And Matt Reeves, who I love, we were just talking about the Planet of the Apes movies not too long ago. Mm-hmm. This movie, I said it, I think a lot of people have been saying it, but it was the first thing I thought of was it's like Batman meets Seven. Is what I saw inside of the tone, and how intense he is, and how angry this version of the character is, and the music. And I didn't know that Michael Giacchino was scoring it. You can hear shades of Star Wars, the Empire.
At
the
it's
end
deep,
there.
yeah.
And Colin Farrell, holy shit!
I know, and
unrecognizable.
It's like a totally different Riddler than we've ever been exposed to.
That's Penguin.
Penguin, but also with the Riddler cues that we got. I'm excited for that. But I completely agree with Batman. I wanted like a vengeful Batman. V for Vendetta is my favorite movie. I love vengeance, like unfolding on screen like that. And when he said vengeance,
I'm vengeance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
And what it looks like, I'm curious if they're going to be playing into the atmosphere or the universe of Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. And not that it'll ever tie in, and not that they'll ever meet up, but that it's the same timeline, because there's a shot where Bruce is looking around and he's these things that he's saying. Now the question is, did the Riddler write these things and he's discovering this, or this is his own kind of warped thing where he's training? Because it says sins of my father with a question mark. And in every other iteration except Joker, Thomas Wayne is played as like a good guy, good dude, taught his son the ropes. Nolan's Batman, he's a good dude. But in Joker, he's a scumbag. Which version of Thomas Wayne was this? So does it play into that? And because of the multiverse now, and because of these things that play in, and that's another question, will Robert Pattinson's Batman show up as even in a cameo in The Flash.
Yeah.
Question. But this trailer, though, man, it did exactly what I think people were hoping that it would. I think it convinced a lot of people on Pattinson. Some people, still saying the same thing, emo, that kind of thing. But he's got the black paint on his eyes. He's not like dressing up and doing.
Batman is also emo,
right?
Where he's been complaining, rightfully so. He's had a lot of hardships, but I think that this is the Batman I've been waiting to see, is one where you don't really know how good or bad they are because of their life circumstances and their decisions to be a vigilante.
Right.
That goes into gray area, which I feel like is why Suicide Squad was so good, is because of course you're going to get gray in The Boys, like shows like that. You're going to get gray area with these characters in a way that they haven't displayed. They displayed shades of it, obviously, in the past iterations of Batman. But for this specific one, this is exactly what I was looking for.
And Zoe Kravitz looking like one of the best Catwomen that we've ever seen.
I mean, the moment she was casted, I think everyone's like, all right,
makes sense.
Got it.
And she walked out with those boots right away.
Different wigs. Yes.
Everything about it, and like the conversations they're having. The way that this movie is shot, it's beautiful already. Like just the shots that are shown in the trailer, and it comes out in March.
I know.
Which is like, it's right. It's
my
been pushed back.
Month.
Is it? It's like right there. It's like, people are like, oh, we got to wait until March. It's right there.
No, it's going to fly.
It's going to fly by. And it's also kind of transitions us into our next story. And I did a whole reaction on the Batman. So if you want to see more stuff, please check it out. 35,000 views in like a day.
I know.
Because it's like everybody's like just looking for people to see the reactions and stuff to it. It was, and rightfully so.
And when you hear the stories, like you were saying, of the production of this, how many takes, how long they were on set,
people getting sick and having to stop.
Working it out, making sure it's right.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna. I can't wait.
I can't wait. But it also brings us into the next story, because I'm gonna bring. Let's see. I'm gonna bring that down for a second, and I want to bring this up because this is. Taken from. All right. So there's this big thing about Doctor Strange getting moved, Mouth of Madness, and I was like, well, this makes sense because it was dated on March 25th, and then Batman is coming out like the first week, and they're like, no, let's get the hell out of there. Like, because it's, even though it's like 3 weeks later, let's get the hell out of there. Why do we want to go up against the Batman after the hype that this thing got, and we're trying to promote our second movie here in Doctor Strange? It's still going to do well, but why even be in the vicinity of this thing? Let's get the hell out of there. And they did. And they move it to May 22nd. That makes sense to me. I get it. And then it starts to do this ripple and this change. And then they get Thor: Love of Thunder, which was previously dated for May 22nd. And now because Doctor Strange takes that date, it moves to July. Okay. That, again, makes sense to me. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever was supposed to be on that July date, and now shifts to November. Again, that makes sense to me. This next one drives me bananas. Untitled Indiana Jones, which was dated for July 2022. It moves to June 2023.
A year.
Why? Why are you moving it a full year? Like, they're already shooting it. They're doing all this. It's not, like, why? That is so mind-boggling to me. We'll talk about that in a little bit. The Marvels was dated for 11/11. Now that shifts to February. That makes sense. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now, coming out of February, moves a little bit later now to July of 2023. So but this, by the way, this Untitled Disney live action slated for 7/14/23 is removed from the schedule. That's the one I want to touch on real quick.
Yeah.
Is that Patty Jenkins' Star Wars?
I don't know, because I feel like that was the one that was slated for that time.
Right.
And I'm curious because obviously there was the announcement that she's now doing the third Wonder Woman.
Right.
Like, is there a scheduling conflict? Is there a contract issue?
Or do they not want to do the movie anymore?
Yeah.
And so here's the question, though, and I hope that it's not the Patty Jenkins one. Not so much because I'm so curious about that movie. If it comes out, we'll love to see it. But it doesn't, not going to lose sleep over it. But the reason why I hope it comes out is because Lucasfilm and Star Wars have been notorious for this, announcing shit that doesn't go down. They announced that they were supposed to announce this whole thing that was supposed to happen with Obi-Wan as a movie. Like they were like, we're doing this big announcement. Never happens. Like then they shift. They're supposed to do something else. The Rogue One announcements. Lando. K2SO comes out, and for Andor, not even in the first season. It's like this kind of stuff, and then they with their films, moving directors and moving stuff around and shifts and all that kind of stuff. The TV for them has been flawless thus far, but the films still seem to be sloppy. If this is indeed the Patty Jenkins movie, but there's no mention of the Patty Jenkins Star Wars, and this isn't just Marvel. If this was just Marvel, then I said, well, of course, but they mentioned Indiana Jones, and there's this untitled 20th Century Fox. Where's the Patty Jenkins movie?
Yeah.
So you would assume that this untitled Disney live action film, however, Disney live action, that could be Little Mermaid.
Or Lion King 2.
Yeah. So Disney live action seems to infer that it's going to be that. They just don't have anything. There was no official announcement, I guess, for the Patty Jenkins, so we could just be jumping
that
conclusion.
could be
So,
Little Mermaid.
As I look at it more and more with the untitled Disney live action, I'd say it's probably either Little Mermaid or something else along those lines, something that hasn't really been announced. But then you got untitled Marvel Disney previously dated 7/28 removed, untitled Marvel dated for 10/26 removed, untitled 20th Century 10/23 removed, and then this doesn't get removed, but untitled Marvel previously dated on 11/10 just moves to 11/3. So they pushed whatever it was is not coming out. It's coming out earlier now. So much to pack in there, stuff. So much.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So much. The Indiana Jones one. That's the one that it's like, this is a full year. I love Harrison Ford. He's one of my favorite actors of all time. He ain't no spring chicken.
No.
I mean, listen. Hey, Siri, how old is Harrison Ford?
Harrison Ford is 79 years old.
Holy shit.
79. The man's going to be 81 years old by the time this movie comes out. 81. And it's like, they already shot it. They already did everything. So, but if they have to do any pickups or any of that kind of stuff, but then you're asking them to do press and go on premiere runs and doing all that stuff.
They finished shooting.
They were shooting. I don't know if they finished shooting, but they were in the midst of it. They probably shot a lot of it. What happened?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like everything I've read in production for this film. The only thing that like Phoebe Waller-Bridge is obviously in it, and the only thing I've heard of her is that she's no longer doing the Mr. and Mrs. Smith show with. But I don't know if
nothing about this.
Yeah, nothing about that. But I wonder if there's something going on.
Mangold had a whole like Twitter thing about it. People were getting on him about it, and he was going back and forth with like different YouTube channels. But it's like, but that's not. Moving it a full year because of this shift. I mean, maybe they just wanted a really big property in that summer, so they decided to move it, give them more time. And I'm sure.
Look at what happened with Bond. I feel like moving that like year wait was just killer for the product.
Yeah, I think. But look, Indiana Jones is always going to carry that mystique and magic of it, and they already shot it. It's like they've already shot this stuff, so it's like you always get nervous when people are getting up there in age, and not only because of the risk of, God forbid, them passing away, but like I'm half the age of Harrison Ford, and I get exhausted really fast. All right, you're asking this guy to do a lot of stuff, and not just filming, a lot of things. So it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know I don't know why. I'm so curious to hear the decision on this, and I think it would probably be because that they want a big property in the middle of the summer for 2023, and that's I don't know.
And they're not gonna, but they're gonna have a Marvel property, I'm sure.
Yeah, you look at all this again, going back to that. So Doctor Strange, because you look, I mean, it's a stacked 2022 for them, because Doctor Strange. So you're gonna get Batman that hits in March, and Batman's gonna be the talk of the town, and so that way Marvel can kind of say, okay, wait a minute, I'm gonna sit back, because I don't know when the Flash comes out. I forget. I don't know when these other ones come out. I'm not sure, but they're getting the hell out of the way of the Batman, even if it's close to the Flash or things. I think that they'll, which is interesting. If it's can you look up when the Flash comes out? Because I don't know if they announced it, but like if the Flash comes out, I think that's 2023.
November 4th, 2022.
Oh, November 4th. Okay, so it's going to be way out of the way. It'll be, but Black Panther will be going head to head with the Flash.
Yeah.
Because but I don't think they're as worried about the Flash, even though Flash will do very well, which with Michael Keaton and everything too. It's be a massive movie. But I think it's the Batman is going to just, after that kind of hype, they want to get the hell out of the way.
And I also think with the next Spider-Man coming out, they don't need to push Doctor Strange in March.
Right.
They can wait.
I don't think it's necessary for them to do it. But like then Thor, Love and Thunder, moving to 2 months later. This to me the first three it's a good strategy because Black Panther, I'm pretty sure the first one came out in November when it came out. I'm pretty sure it did. Or February. I think it was February. It was February. Yes, it was February.
Yeah.
But coming out in November, I think that Black Panther going up against Flash is a good move because Black Panther, there's no chance that movie bombs.
Yeah, and they're also completely separate. Like, they are so different.
Yeah, very different. And I think that both movies will do very well. It's a good spot to put both of those. That if you're gonna go up against the Flash, Black Panther's a good movie to do it too. And it's only a couple weeks later, but still. But yeah, that's really. And then any of the other shifts, to me, isn't like panic mode on all the other shifts. It's just that Indiana Jones is the only one.
Yeah, it's so interesting. These studios are down the street from one another.
Yeah.
They're just waiting for them to publicly announce things.
Because it's a strategy game. It's a strategy game for sure. And it shouldn't be a strategy, ladies and gentlemen, to brush your teeth.
No.
Should not be a strategy to brush your teeth. QUIP. Man, I love QUIP. I love QUIP. You guys love QUIP? Well, you should love QUIP. If you don't, you're blowing it. I'll tell you why. QUIP is incredible because there's certain health practices and routines that you always need to get back into, and learning new habits have made your life better or easier, what it's like to interact with others or face-to-face. What has changed your oral care routine? Well, the QUIP electric toothbrush, it's loved by over 7 million mouths and has timed sonic vibrations with 30-second pulses to guide a dentist-recommended 2-minute clean. A lightweight and sleek design for adults and kids with no wires or bulky charger to weigh you down. It's a multi-use travel cover that doubles as a mirror mount for less clutter. On top of your brushing, you can upgrade your QUIP with a new smart motor to track and improve your brushing with the free QUIP app, and you can earn amazing rewards like free refills, products, Target gift cards, and more. The floss strings is awesome reusable floss pick that replaces over 180 disposable picks with every refill. Refillable gum that's sugar-free, has long-lasting mint flavor, and comes with a dispenser. This QUIP is pretty incredible. I don't know if you guys have been using it, but switch over if you're not, and use our code. And how do you do that? If you got to go to getquip.com/bigthing right now, and you're going to get your first refill free. That's your first refill free at getquip.com/bigthing. GETQUIP.com/bigthing. That's QUIP, the Good Habits Company. It's really good. Have you been? Have you done the QUIP yet?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
I really like that company.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's really, really easy.
It's good. They got good stuff going on over there. And if you guys and the links in the description, by the way, if you didn't know it already. So
so that July 2023.
Yes.
That's Ant-Man 3. That got pushed to
Ant-Man was February and now it's moved to July.
Okay.
Yeah, so they moved. So they took the Indiana Jones. So
interesting.
You know, that's a good point you bring up, because here's the question then: does Marvel pull a, hey, we need Ant-Man to come out
for the timeline
at this time, so it moves, and they're like, we got Indy there, and like, should we shift Indy? When do we shift Indy? Should we move it a year? Well, if we move it, like, what hurts more? If we move Ant-Man, we move this, what hurts more? Well, it hurts if we screw up the MCU timeline. So let's just move Indy. People will bitch about it, that it's coming out in another year, but it gives Mangold more time to edit it. It gives, some more time to really put it together, market it, really push it. So why don't we just do that? I would rather it come out in February or March, but then who knows what else you have coming out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not that summer release. So I guess that's probably what happened.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah, the Marvel really runs it there.
Of course.
Because they're the only ones on a specific timeline though now too, out of all the Disney-owned properties.
Yeah, it's like it's a ton of money, and you listen, if that's the case, if that's what if Kevin Feige comes to you and goes, hey, we need that date, then Indy's going to take the shift. It's like, yeah, he's an icon, but it's like if you need it for that timeline, that's probably what happened.
Yeah,
I would assume
that's probably what happened. He probably got another movie deal or something negotiated.
Where else are they going to put Indy if they don't put him in summer and put him at the end? Because like if you go back to that right there. Where is it? This stupid thing.
Could do a December release.
Yeah, but still, even then, December, it's like
I love December movies.
I like December movies too, but I think that they're
take
traditionally
that Star Wars slot.
Yeah, but the question is, what else is coming out? I'm gonna look up right now because I go to there's a site that I go to. It's the numbers. They usually have everything that's listed. What's supposed to come out? The numbers, movie releases, and I'm gonna check it out. Let me see what's supposed to come out in December of 2020.
Oh,
what?
Aquaman 2 and Avatar 2.
And Avatar's not gonna come out until we're both dead.
It's coming.
We'll see.
It's coming.
It's supposed to be the movie will be 11 years later before it finally comes out. And I don't never doubt James
Cameron.
Never, but like, man, he's really pushing it. So we're looking at December of 2022. Yeah. So during 22, this is December. Yeah, like you said, Aquaman. So you're not gonna. There's nothing coming up in the beginning. Well, Creed 3, it comes up November 23rd. So there's nothing in the first week of December.
Yeah, I think.
But still, that's normally not when the big business happens in December. So Aquaman, Avatar 2, yeah. The Nightingale, I don't know what that is. Untitled 20th Century Studio film. I think that's the one that got moved. Yeah, man. And then, so yeah. I mean, there's really because you can't. November, you got The Flash. You're not going to mess with The Flash. Creed 3, The Marvels. When did The Marvels move? Is that when did the Marvels already move from that date? Is that what I said?
Yes, February,
right? So that's not. So why did they take the Marvels date for that one? Wonder why they didn't take the Marvels date, because I guess somebody else got moved there. That's why. That's right. Yeah. That's right. Thor or whatever. So you can't mess with that. You don't want to put it in October. Can't go in September. August is like the end. Yeah, that's probably what happened. They just shifted it and they decided we're not going to mess with Marvel. Here we're going to give Marvel what they want, and Indy got the shaft. Balls.
Sucks.
Yeah, it does. It really does. But what can you?
There's such good movies coming out.
So many good
movies. It's
movies.
hard to complain.
No, look at what
I am really looking forward to that.
The Indy.
Yeah,
me too. Especially because I've said this before. I'm more excited about it because Mangold's doing. I love Spielberg, and I can't wait to see Spielberg's next movies. But I kind of want Spielberg not to direct any more indies.
Yeah.
I think Mangold can do no wrong for me at the moment. And I want to see what he can do with an Indiana Jones film. And so to wait that long, I wonder if he's going to have another movie that comes out before that.
I think so. Probably.
Holy shit. So let's see what comes out for the remainder of the year, and then we're going to wrap it up for the day.
Yeah.
So the remainder of the year, right now we're in October. You got Dune coming out, which I will have a review for. Steph, I got an announcement that I'm going to confirm. I'm finally going to my first screening in a movie theater.
No way.
Since 2020. I'm going to see Eternals tomorrow night.
Yes.
Are you going tomorrow?
No, I'm supposed to go Monday, but I can't.
You mean today?
Oh, no, next Monday.
Okay, I'm going tomorrow. I'm going to go tomorrow. And I'm going to go see that movie. I will do a spoiler review of it. I'll do a regular review of it.
Damn.
So I will be doing that. That's my first one. So, but that's not. I mean, and whenever the embargo comes out, that's when we'll do it. But I will. Dune comes out. That's this weekend. I'll be watching that for sure. And then the 29th, nothing. I know there's movies that people really want to see, the smaller movies. I'm going over the ones that I think are the massive ones. November 5th is Eternals.
It's projected to be the biggest Marvel release this year in the pandemic. Yeah. So
Clifford the Big Red Dog, I'm so bummed that I still can't take my kids to the theater yet because I really want to take them to see that one. But
it looked really good if I was a kid.
Yeah.
I think if I was a kid, I would have really enjoyed what that trailer was.
Me too. Oh, November 19th is Ghostbusters. That's a big one.
Oh, yeah, that'll be fun.
That's a
good weekend for them.
This Resident Evil movie is coming out November 24th. I don't know what Wolf is. I don't remember. That's December 3rd. West Side Story is December 10th.
That'll be pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a good weekend for a musical.
Yeah, and then December 17th is when the roof gets blown off the place. Because Spider-Man No Way Home comes out.
Unreal.
The Kingsman comes out on the 23rd, which I'm very interested in. And then The Matrix comes out on the 22nd. Sing 2, which is another big one. That's a big weekend. It's a big weekend.
Huge.
Yeah, so those are the remainder of it.
That's why I don't get why you wouldn't do indie on. I think Star Wars changed December release.
Because I think of what you just said. There's too many. There's too much.
Too many.
Yeah, and if it's Avatar, that's Disney.
Yeah, next.
They're not,
yeah,
because
I think
Disney bought
Avatar,
Fox,
yeah.
so Disney they're not going to go again. They're not going to put indie against Avatar.
No. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think that's definitely what it was.
Because they're going to put all the marketing, because it's all about marketing dollars, and they want to be able to put enough marketing to it. So
and they have to, because they have to be like, wait, remember this movie that came out 12 years ago? Here's the sequel.
We talked through it here, Steph. We talked through it, and I understand why they did it, but I don't like it.
Yeah, we got to the conclusion.
We got to reason why they did it. I just don't like that they did it. It makes sense, but anyway.
Still a bummer, but I get it.
Real bummer. So, all right, that was the show here today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you like it. I hope you dug it. I hope you're brand new to the channel. If you're brand new to the channel, thank you for subscribing. And please, if you didn't know already, we don't do any donations on this show. We don't do super chats. We don't do Streamlabs. We don't do any of that. The way that we monetize these shows and try to keep on going is having you guys download the episodes on podcast form, whether that is Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcast. Helps tremendously. Helps us get great sponsors like QUIP and like ButcherBox and many other sponsors. But we ask you guys to help us out and download the episodes. And we think we're pretty good in the car or at the gym. So check us out, if you can. But we will be back on Wednesday, and that is an episode that we did, myself, Steph, and Kate. Gonna be a lot more Halloween Kills talk. So we'll be that's Steph just kind of going all in. Y'all. And then Friday, myself, Winston Marshall, and Coy Jandrew are back for our rewatch series on Spider-Man, where we do Spider-Man 3. God help us all. And then Return of the Jedi for the rewatch series of Star Wars happens with myself, Steph Sabraw, and maybe Mike. I don't know. If not, it'll be Steph and I. We have better conversations. So please go check us out. You can Sith Council has its own podcast feed, but Big Thing has its podcast feed, and then you can subscribe and get notifications. Hit those bell notifications. That's the most important thing. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you waiting. Peace.